So I'm a transformation enthusiast, worked for many years in studying different modes or ways to transform, and that we can exercise our body and feel better, and do yogas and stretch, and take care of ourselves and be with positive people. And this really has been the preliminaries to what I'm doing now, and that really can be a valuable start. All of that and more can be a valuable start in the transformation. Here I'm going to sort of quote an article or refer to an article by a teacher from Tibet. Not that I'm posing myself as guru or teacher as much as group leader, and that we borrow from those who have awakened, or we borrow from ideas about transformation. So this teacher is Dangzar Jamyang Khyentse Rinpoche from Tibet. I don't know him more than just through the article and through a movie called Words of My Perfect Teacher. And one of the things he says is that he walks a very fine line. It's very difficult because in the East he's worshipped. In short, he has people hanging on his leg, taking his every word literally and worshipfully. He has as much difficult in the West as people are spending an extraordinary amount of time defending their personal point of view and coming at it with an independent mind. The strength of the independent mind is a value in our Western culture that he sees as in the way of a transformed consciousness. So in other words, one can basically assess that to be in a context of transformation has nothing to do with worship and has nothing to do with defiance or protecting personal points of view. And so the work that we're talking about isn't about my personal point of view. So when a pointer to the impersonal is inquired and looked into, it does challenge my points of view, my personal points of view, and anybody in the group. So I can be blamed for these discomforts, so that being cared for and treated sensitively is comforting. To have a recognition of the sublime is uncomforting if we want it to possibly show up no matter what happens, no matter what relative circumstances happening. That becomes a radical journey. So I've gone through a lot of this where people are saying that they have their ways from the past that they want to be validated continuously. And for a group energy to shift into new vistas, for each of us to shift into new vistas, I'm advocating or prescribing in this group to whoever shows up that we look at material from the sages, look directly at and bite down on something until we feel shifted by it, which is radically challenging to our liberal minds, our college, what we purchased intellectually. And for instance, you could just take a simple notion, just very simple, let me boil this down, that the aliveness, the sublime, sacred transformation, the recognition of what we are at our heart is on the other side of all that we hold dear and personal, all that we want to feel validated for. It's fine, but our addiction to that keeps us in loops of being protected, protecting, defensiveness, and freedom is a whole different conversation. So this is a beginning part of that conversation, and I just feel called to bring it up front. So on my website, infiniteaffinity.com, I'm putting this on the self-awareness page where I do 3 months classes and 9-month classes. And in all cases, this is points to how transformation can be authenticated when you talk about those teachers who speak of truth for truth's sake rather than kind of the feel-good group thing, which is part of what I do, but mostly it's transformation. Thank you for listening.